staying on men's basketball, and then we're going to circle back to the women here for a second. So John, along with that parity that you mentioned, you have a Big 12 that's pretty solid, top to bottom. I mean,
Yeah.
So Joe Lunardi, the bracketologist, I guess, has 8 teams making the NCAA tournament from the Big 12 right now. What's your number? How many do you feel like get there?
I think eventually it's going to be 7, just because in conference you beat up each other so much. Some teams going to end up with a bunch of conference losses. But, you know, he had TCU, one of the last 4 in, and they played really well. They probably deserve it right now. But yeah, it's, you know, for a 10-team conference, you know, with 7 or 8 teams, or even 9 if K-State got hot, to make a bid for the NCAA tournament, that's remarkable. I mean, you're looking at conferences like the ACC and Big Ten, or maybe hoping to get in 6 or 7 teams, but that's not even half the league. So you're looking at probably 70% of the Big 12, most likely
considering
getting
Oklahoma
in,
State's not
8.
eligible. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Now, Oklahoma State's not eligible, so it's 8 of 9 that are eligible.
Yeah, and like you said, with an outside shot at 9. So
here's my assessment of the Big 12 right now. You've got you've got 4 really good teams. And then you've got 6 teams that if you don't play your best, they can beat you. And so that produces what we see is unpredictability every night of the week. You know, I mean, Kansas State's a good enough team to win 9 games in conference and get in the tournament.
Yeah.
They've created an uphill battle for themselves. I think 2-4 now, or 2-5 now. But I mean, they're good enough.
And not to belabor a point that we've talked about a lot, but I feel like nothing breeds predictability more than continuity. And if you have a team that you can like get together and stick together for a while, that team, you know, tends to go out on the floor knowing what it can do, knowing what it has to do to win. And because you just have so much roster turnover, I think that certainly breeds the unpredictability.
Well, I think that's something that the Texas Tech has benefited from. People talk about all the transfers and people that they brought in, but you had 4 guys that were loyal to the program and stayed there, that have been there for multiple years. At least 3 of them have been there for 2 years previous to this year. And TJ Shannon, Kevin McCullough, Clarence Nadolny, and Marcus Santos Silva. And those 4 guys were loyal to the school and loyal to the program, and they stayed there. And those guys would kind of become the core of the team in a way. And then you add those other guys around them, you know, and I mean, Baylor has 4 or 5 guys that have been there, you know, that were on the team last year. And I think that's what makes them as good as they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have a great core and you make some good additions. Yeah, that's
even if you're just on the team and your role is different, you're a backup maybe, and then you ascend to a starting position or some sort of different role. I still think there's benefits to that.